Hello friends, in this video we are going to see how we can utilize the Atmel Studio to program the Atmega328P IC provided over Akshayapatra. So the basic idea is this Atmega328P IC is preloaded with the Arduino Pro Mini bootloader, and we will use the IDE to compile the code for us and provide a hex file, and we will utilize the avrdude available on the computer to basically pass on this hex file to this Atmega328 PIC with the help of bootloader. To do this, you will be needing the Microchip Studio, which is an IDE. So after installing that, you will see a window like this. To write your own embedded C program, you need to create a project. To do so, you have to go to the files, go to new, and you have to go to the project. Then you will choose GCC C executable project, and you will just name this application. Let's say Sincgrid example AVR. You can change the preferred location, but for now I will be using the default location which is provided by the ID, and I will press OK. After that, it will ask me for the exact make of the IC, that is the number written on the microcontroller IC. So for this IC, it is Atmega 328P. You just select first one and press OK. It will create a sample program for you. Now you can see it is a very basic C code to get started with. Now I will replace this code with a pre uh, written sample code by me that you can easily find on this site, that sincgrid.in/avr tutorials. You can find that tutorials over here. There are various experiments that you can perform with the AVR board, and this Akshayapatra board, basically, since it got Atmega 328 PIC, you have to go over here to find all the steps that you can follow and how you can write that program. So I'm basically copying the code from here, the very first code of blinking, and I will be replacing that code and tweaking some of the parameters to fit in for the Akshayapatra board. Now I will just copy and paste the program from there, and I have changed this clock setting, since in the Akshayapatra manual you can easily see that the board is powered with Atmega 328 at 8 megahertz, and that too with the Pro Mini bootloader. So I will be setting the clock to the 8 megahertz. That's why this FCPU definition is there, and I'm just writing the very same code, and I am using currently the pin number 13 as the mentioned in the example. So I will just save this code, and I will compile this. If there is no bug, you can see build one succeeded. So you can see in this example that it produced elf file and hex file. So elf file is here, and similarly it must have generated a hex file for you like this. So I need to provide a command to always detect this hex file in the project directory irrespective of the project name. So to do so, I have provided you with a build step that you can find in this very first AVR tutorial series, in which I'm basically setting up the environment. So basically I am utilizing the Arduino IDE toolchain such that at every build step, our Atmel Studio will process the command to transfer this hex file. So it's very generic command I have mentioned in this blog post. So you have to just copy and paste thing. One thing you have to remember, that just in case you are using some different path, then you have to replace that part according to your file system or directory system. So for my Arduino environment, while you compile any of the example, you can see that example is basically printing up these commands in the very end. You can just push any example code since this Pro Mini bootloader is there. Then you can see that this line is basically specifying what all path I am basically following in this environment. So I'm using the predefined pre-installed avrdude with the Arduino IDE, and I'm just copy and pasting only this line. Other than that, I'm not utilizing nothing from the Arduino IDE side. I'm just utilizing its programming mechanism to utilize the bootloader and transfer the hex code from the Microchip Studio ID to the program memory of the Atmega328P. So I just tweak that thing for you, and you can always find these commands in the description of this video. So one thing you have to remember that this is utilizing basically a COM port number, so that may vary from your system to system. So to check that, you have to basically go to your device manager. So you can do so by just pressing Windows key plus R and typing dev mg or you can also do the very same thing after going to the my computer, right clicking it and going to the device manager. So I just press that, and it will open a device manager for me, and in the comport you can see that it is this device, this Akshayapatra is basically emulated at comport number 41. So I will use that in my code. In your case it might have some other value, you have to just replace that comport number. After this step, you have to just go to the Atmel Studio and you have to go to your tools and external tools. So I have already created an entry for you. So you can see, you can write any title over here. There is no compulsion. It's just easier for me to understand that what exactly is going on. So I just titled it as programming via bootloader, and other steps are the path of basically command is the path of my avrdude. So since I already showed you an Arduino ID, this is the path of my avrdude, and I just replace the project directory of the HTML studio as a variable, so that irrespective of whatever name I am giving to my solution, it will be replaced with that, and I will be targeting to the this target name hex file. So my project name is basically, you can see, Sincgrid example avia. So my hex file will be Sincgrid example avia.hex. So this variable will be replaced by whatsoever is the name of the my hex file of that particular project solution. So after doing so, you have to just click this check this use output window just to see what is going on in this console, and you will just press OK. So now with every change in the program, you have to basically compile the program. After just writing the code, you will just build this. It will make an output for you that bind one successful. Thereafter you have to go to the tools, and whatever name you have provided, you will see that entry over here. You have to just press that thing, and it will transfer the hex file from id to the program memory of the controller using bootloader. So you can easily see whatever hex file I have generated, it just copy pasted that thing and written that in the program memory of the HTML IC. So these programming steps will remain constant for various experiments that you will be performing. So whenever you create a new project, you just use the external tool that you have created, and the remaining code you will write for that specific experiment. Rest steps will be constant. Thank you everyone. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you.